Hey everybody, it's Mike here, and I'm here to talk about one of the games I'm most excited about. I made sure to take my time with this review just to give you the best possible information. Today we're going to be talking about Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, literally one of the best games of the year, and I'm going to go and explain why. I'm going to talk about the gameplay and various aspects of the game. I'm going to try to keep this spoiler free as much as possible, so stay tuned. And I just want to do a big thank you to all my subscribers. You guys are awesome. I just recently hit a little bit over 300 now, so I just want to keep this momentum going. And if you haven't checked out my channel, please consider checking it out. I do reviews on a regular basis, and if you like my type of reviews, consider subscribing. Now, there's one common theme you'll find in my channel is I'm quite a critic when it comes to how video game publishers and different game franchises really go downhill. They really sell out, they go the DLC route. There's Zelda franchise is one of those few that really stick to their guns. They always continuously deliver the highest quality game. Every Zelda game continuously innovates and builds upon itself. We thought Breath of the Wild was like the pinnacle of gaming, right? But then Tears of the Kingdom came out, and really the amount of creativity and freedom in this game is really unparalleled. You got this Ultra Hand ability, which pretty much lets you customize any object in the game. You can connect different objects together, experiment with them. Right off the bat, you start off using this Ultra Hand to create mine carts, and you're going to use fans to propel yourself. This game just pushes you and says, here's the playground, here are the objects to play with. So you're going to have a lot of fun with using this Ultra Hand ability. And let me tell you right now, one of the strongest aspects of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and like any other Zelda games, is storyline. A great storyline with lots of mysteries to unfold. In this particular game, Hyrule's in a time of peace. And then you find Zelda and Link are exploring this cave, and during their exploration of this cave, they seem to awaken some sort of evil entity, and that's how kind of the storyline unfolds. And Link actually loses his arm in the process, so very dramatic beginning. I loved it. And then it expands to Link seeking out different tears of light, and these are different artifacts that are used to seal the darkness. And then it goes from there. Not to mention the hundreds of hours of gameplay. You got 2 full-size world maps to uncover, hundreds of shrines, a dozen of different storyline quests, and even more side adventures, tons of NPCs, and different caves to explore. So there is almost the most content you'll ever find on a Zelda game, and this even makes Breath of the Wild seem small and simple. And that's saying a lot. And I'm going to say with confidence that this game is a lot more narrative driven than you'd say with Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild really focused on giving a straightforward storyline. No, this one really focuses on building on the storyline and developing different plot twists. So really can't say enough about the storyline. So I would easily say the amount of explorable area in compared to Breath of the Wild has not only doubled, but you also have like the whole sky area to explore. So this game is just huge, to say the least. In Breath of the Wild, the world was a lot more empty. You wouldn't see as much going on. In this game, you'll see a lot more NPC interaction. You'll see a lot more quests to do. You'll see NPCs interact with monsters, like for example, the new Hyrule military. You'll find them in battle sometimes. So you'll just encounter different events, and it really makes things more interesting. I know in Breath of the Wild sometimes you can be running around for hours and you won't really see any other NPCs or anything to interact with, but this new world feels more alive than ever. So I have different caves and dungeons where you can unlock different items and face rare enemies, so that was cool. Another huge improvement is they expanded on the enemy variety types. I know in Breath of the Wild there wasn't that many different types of enemies you'd encounter. You'd usually encounter the same type. Well, they improved on that now. I also really enjoyed how they did the temples in this game. Just a classic Zelda dungeon experience where they all have their own aesthetic, and they're all tied to their element, and it's also tied to the storyline very well. And I didn't even mention how there's a whole underground area which spans the whole Hyrule map. One of the other great things of this game is the powers it gives you. For example, you have this ability called Ascend, and it allows you to ascend into the ceiling and actually emerge from above it. And this really opens the world up in a vertical way that we've never seen really in an open world game. So That is huge. And then you got the Ultra Hand. Now the great thing about Ultra Hand, because it's a tool to craft any sort of object in the game. For example, if you want a boat, chop up 3 trees, you put the logs together, and then you got yourself a boat. And in this game, you're really only limited by your imagination, with skills like Ultra Hand allowing you to combine different items. You know, you can create your own little glider. For example, if you want to get really creative, you can put some logs together, you know, get a balloon, get some flames, and you got yourself a flying raft. It really is limited to how your imagination is, and you know, the world is your oyster in this game, and not many games you can really say that. And just like the Ultra Hand, another very exciting and fun power you'll be using is the fuse ability. And very early on in the game, you learn to use the fuse ability. So for example, early on in the game, you have to break through different boulders, and you have to fuse like a sword and a rock together. Very simple at first, but the options really get you creative, and there's no set way to do it. It's all about experimentation and trying different things. You can have a sword with a fan attached to it. It's really what you want to be. There's no like set way, and it's all about experimenting what works best. The game kind of says, you know, go ahead. If you want to put a sword and a flame thrower together, go have at it and have fun. And that's what that's what games should be about, you know, just having fun and being able to experiment with different mechanics and physics. For example, I was playing the other day, and I was just deciding, hey, I wonder if I could put a fan on my shield, and I can blow enemies away if I'm like low on health or something. And yep, just as I imagined, it works perfectly. And that's how the game continuously works. It'll keep surprising with you with the amount of freedom it gives you, but at the same time it allows you to play it like you'd play Breath of the Wild. So it doesn't force you to be super creative and doing some making some next Minecraft creation to solve every mystery. You have that freedom and agency to approach every problem as you'd like to see fit, and I like that. So I believe we covered everything. So overall, this game is just excellent. It's probably going to be a game of the year by far. I'd be very surprised if this game didn't win game of the year. This is a very easy 10 out of 10. And let me tell you, I don't take that lightly. If you've been checking out my channel, I do not give 10s easily. I'm only giving another 10 to Persona 5 Royal, and this would be my second 10. So this game is really high up there, and I'm really impressed by this game, and it's a complete game, and we couldn't ask for any more from Nintendo for delivering such a great product. So I would highly recommend this, and I would also recommend you checking out my channel if you haven't seen my other videos, and if you like my content, please consider subscribing. We'll see you on the next one.